I wonder if you're using AI in the same level that other church leaders are using it around the world. Well, we've got an answer to that question right here. We've got the Exponential AI in the Church survey in 2024. We're going to look through this survey, check out the results. I'm a huge fan of AI, use it almost daily in Grow a Healthy Church's ministry, but we'll check out and we'll see how you're using it compared to others around the world. We're in this survey and in this study. And I'll put a link in the description below. You can download this for yourself and check it all about the key findings within the survey. There's a bit of detail there. And it's all about the state of AI in the church overview. So let's jump into this. 663 respondents. That's a pretty good survey, though you will see as we go along, there's a lot of larger, medium, and larger churches who have responded to the survey. So I think that skews the results. In my mind, it does anyway. 87% of respondents said they are for the use of AI in ministry. 66% are already using the AI tools for ministry purposes, and we'll see as we go along the areas that they're using it for. 13% are using AI tools daily. I think that's a fairly small percentage because I would have thought daily, especially on your work days of the week for a church leader, actually be diving in and using it daily. I use it almost daily for all sorts of different things and not just related to ministry work, obviously. Key findings: the top way AI has been used include informational research, text content generation, image graphics, process automation. Only 8% in process automation. And that's what we'll see grow in the next 2 to 3 years, where automations, AI agents doing things, especially in that background admin data analysis for medium large churches, really helpful in those sort of areas for those larger churches. Most popular AI tools, no surprises here. Well, maybe ChatGPT, Grammarly. I don't know if I've ever used Grammarly AI other than to help me with punctuation. Canva Magic, I use Canva a lot, rarely use the AI. Well, I guess I do with background removal. Gemini is something I've definitely been using. I'm surprised Claude is not higher up in that list personally. Let's keep going through this. Are you for or against the use of AI ministry work? This is terrible. 13%. That's a big percentage of people. That's 13 out of every 100 church leaders are saying it's no use at all is appropriate. That's way too high. Anyway, it is what it is. 87% are for the use. So I guess we should focus in on the positive. Do you use AI tools for ministry? How often? Daily, 13%. Weekly, 30%. Occasionally, 23%. Rarely. Not yet, 25% have not used it. We're 2.5 years into this revolution, 2 years and 3 months to be exact. My goodness, 25% haven't used it yet. I'm shocked by that. 43% use AI tools frequently, weekly, or daily. So that use is definitely growing. Here's the tools that are being used. I'm surprised that Claude doesn't rate higher in this one, 3%. Magi at 1%. That's the tool I use. Love Magi. Check it out. I might even put a link in the description below. Most common uses: sermon prep, research, article creation, management, distribution, creating content or resources. So that's heavily towards content creation, which is no surprise at all when you consider what pastors have to do. Close look at the top five. Anyway, the report goes through the top five, gives you an idea. I'm using Gemini a lot more, and I've also played around recently with Grok, the Twitter X AI, which is now available as an app, or should be available pretty soon as an app. So I think that'll get a bit of run as well. Bing as an AI tool. Well, I use Copilot all the time as an app on my phone. I use it on my desktop. I find Copilot really quick, really simple, and really get me to the answer of a tech issue, a health issue. Yes, I've used it for even health issues, for answering all sorts of strange and weird questions. Very helpful, Copilot. I really find it's one of the ones I use mainly. Now, do you prepare write sermons with or without AI? 43% yes. 41% no, not yet. I plan to. I will never use AI for this activity. Now, it depends by what you mean by helping with a sermon. If it's working out the title or with a tricky passage you just want to delve into and see what AI's got to offer in terms of various commentators on it, not that I'd be totally trusting that as a resource, but never get AI to write your sermon. You'll get AI slop and your sermon will be a flop. There you go. AI slop produces flops. So I'd be little bit careful about that. Survey reveals a large segment of church leaders who prepare sermons already using AI tools. And I think as part of the process, I don't really mind that, but to actually use it for all. Specific areas you believe AI can improve the work of the church. Now, the second one here, comms, of course, 16% data analysis. I think we're all waiting for AI agents that will help us in medium and large churches analyze the data that we work with in attendance, baptisms, demographics, small group numbers, serving numbers. I would love an AI agent to help me with that sort of data in my consulting work with churches. And similar stuff here, perceived value, you can dig into that. How valuable do you believe for the potential of AI tools to be enhancing ministry related work within the church? Now, this is really encouraging. 66% are saying very valuable or extremely valuable. You still got 11% saying no real value, but I'm encouraged by that little definition there and that little factor inside there. Which factor would most encourage you to adopt AI in your church? What's this one saying? I'll get my head out of the way. Availability of trained education. And I think that's probably the big thing. Even with my use of AI, I feel sometimes I'm stuck in AI 101 and need to develop my ability of educating and training around this area. And I think that would help a lot of church leaders. There's various aspects here. Have you led your staff? I thought this was an interesting result. Have you led your staff team to discuss the topic of using AI for ministry work? 35% not yet, but planning. No, 38%. This is horrific. This is medium and large church primarily in the survey. And you have only 27% have been leading discussions about AI for ministry work. That blowing my brain. That part of the survey is the popper for me. I cannot believe that. So that needs to change. We need to have those discussions in our teams. Look, there's heaps of data here in terms of discipleship and what challenges you see as significant adopting AI in your church, the known challenges, ethical concerns. The survey dives deep into that. You can download the survey and jump into that yourself. Lack of expertise. I think that's the big learning curve we all need to get on to understand that. Do you have any ethical concerns? So I think a lot of us have ethical concerns, especially when it comes to preaching AI slop, which will lead to a flop. That's my new line. I'm going to utilize that one a lot. Expect to see that in a short. But I think there are ethical concerns about sermon writing with AI. I think using it for background admin, data analysis, creating content for social media, I have no problems with that at all. Short, sharp, to the point, help you be more pithy, help you to be more curiosity inducing, all those sort of things. AI is brilliant for all those sort of areas, all the ethical concerns. But you'll see that fewer church leaders have ethical concerns because we're starting to get used to the tool. Anyway, you can work through all this stuff by yourself about the ethical concerns, AI policies and training. And are you willing to invest in AI education training for yourself? A huge number of people are willing to do this at some level. Only 17% say not willing or not able to. So that's great. People are leaning towards that. Very few churches have AI policies in place. 2% have an AI policy in place. It is what it is. There we go. There's all sorts of training, etc. There's all sorts of. You can deep dive into this at your own leisure. Here's the interesting part: survey demographics. Uh, Primarily male, 71% male. Primary role. Just over a third of the respondents are lead senior pastors, 10% executive pastors. So 46% are high level pastoral roles. So that's good. We're hearing what pastors are saying. Generation, silent, 1%, 23% baby boomers, Gen X dominating, millennials coming up behind them to overtake them, and average attendance at church. Now, this is the interesting one in my mind. Um, 27% under 100. So this is no way normative of church sizes in the spread normally. More than 27% of churches are under 100 people in attendance. And you've got a huge bulk of large churches there. I mean, those numbers 14% of churches, 1,000 to 4,909, 1,000 to 1,000, 14% of churches. There's no way 14% of churches on the planet, let alone in America, Europe, or Australia, are 1,000 to 5,000 people on a Sunday. There's no way. So this survey is weighted in terms of larger churches responding to it, who are probably jumping into it as well. What's next for AI in the church? I think this is interesting. Ongoing education, experimentation, ethical discussions, and discernment. So there you go. There's a few ideas there what you can jump into the AI Next podcast, education, and there's a Facebook group you can jump into as well, which I'm part of, and there's quite a few thousand people in there. What are you doing with AI? Leave a comment on how you're using AI and whether you're using Gemini, Copilot, ChatGPT, Grammarly, Canva Magic. What AI are you using?